Hello dear students. So let us try to continue our discussion on prepositional logic topic of knowledge and reasoning unit 2 of artificial intelligence course. This series of videos, this is the second video you are going through in the prepositional logic resolution as well as forward chaining concepts. Now we will continue our discussion from the point where we stopped in the previous video. These are the learning outcomes we expected. So this is the point where we stopped. The logical equivalence, using these logical equivalence statements, we will try to infer the statements in the given knowledge base. Now we need to understand, along with the soundness and completeness for the knowledge base infer, we also need to understand the validity and satisfiability. A sentence is valid if it is true in all models. So that sentence should be entered in the all models. Example, true, once you consider true, it is true everywhere. And if I say A or negation of A, either of them will be available. So it is true. A implies A is true in all cases. So likewise, it is a valid statement or sentence. Now validity is connected to the inference via the deduction theorem. So deduction theorem is considered here. KB entails alpha if and only if KB implies alpha is valid. So I should be able to deduce alpha. A sentence is satisfiable if it is true in some models. So the sentence may not be true in all models, but it may be true in certain models. Then we consider it as satisfiable. Sentences is unsatisfiable if it is true in no models. That is contradiction, nothing but contradiction. It is not available to be entailed in any of the models. Satisfiability is connected to inference via the following. KB entails alpha if and only if KB and negation of alpha is unsatisfiable. This we are unable to prove. That means we are able to deduce alpha from the knowledge base. So determining the satisfiability of sentences in prepositional logic was the first problem proved to be NP complete. Now let us try to understand this particular point. This piece I have taken from the Peter Norvig book directly. A entails beta if and only if the sentence A conjunction of negation beta is unsatisfiable. We have just seen a type of this one. Proving beta from A by checking the unsatisfiability of A conjunction with negation of beta corresponds exactly to the standard mathematical proof technique. Standard mathematical proof technique. It is also called as refutation or proof by contradiction. Proof by refutation or proof by contradiction, where we are considering the contradiction of the given statement and trying to prove it. This is very important. We will try a couple of examples using this proof by contradiction very soon. Okay. Now reasoning patterns in prepositional logic. How can we reason? Standard patterns of inference that one can be applied to derive chains of conclusions that can lead to a goal. So let us see. Generally we have inference rules like modus ponens and elimination and elimination. Modus ponens and elimination. We will see what this stands for. Now sound rules of inferences. Here are some examples of sound rules of inferences that we can consider. Each can be shown to be sound using a truth table. In enumeration, a rule is sound if its conclusion is true whenever the premise is true. So what we can have is, in case of modus ponens, if we have A and A implies B, A as well as A implies B, then we can conclude as B. So B can be concluded from these premises. And introduction, A and B, and elimination, if I have A and B, then I can conclude A. Double negation, this we know very well, gives us A. Unit resolution, this is very important, please concentrate. A or B and I have a negation of B. When I have A or B with negation of B, these two gets resolved. The positive literal and negative literal gets resolved and I'll have A. This we will make use very much in the resolutions. So resolution I can say A or B, negation of B or C. So these two gets resolved and I'll get A or C. So this is very important observation, please remember. Now we also have modus tollens where we have negation of B, A implies B, then I can have negation of A. Likewise we have OR introduction, A or B, A implies B, B implies C, then we can also have A implies C, which comes under chaining. So these are some more sound rules of inferences. We can make use of these things for deduction. So modus ponens can be written like this: alpha implies beta and alpha, then I can get beta. And elimination, biconditional elimination. If I have alpha biconditional beta, then that can be replaced with alpha implies beta and beta implies alpha. So this is also possible. Now please concentrate here. Apply for Wumpus world to prove no pit in 1, 2. Now these inference rules we will try to apply for the Wumpus world knowledge base what we have developed using 5 rules R1 to R5, and we will try to prove no pit in 1, 2. So ultimately we should have a negation of pit 1, 2. Now I have a rule 1 negation of pit 1, 1, and rule 2 negation of breeze 1, 1, that is B11, and then B21. B11 double implies P12 and or P21. In the same way, B21 double implies P11 or P22 or P31. Now what I will do is we will do biconditional elimination. So by biconditional elimination of this particular R4, we can get something like this. We can get something like this, and then we will eliminate and elimination we will apply to get this one. Now once we get this one and elimination, we can go for equivalence of contrapositives based on A implies B contrapositive. Now this rule can be rewritten like this. Now once we have A implies B form for this one equivalence, then we will apply modus ponens with R2. Now I have negation of B11, here I have negation of B11, so I will go for modus ponens. That means I will get negation of P12 or P21. Now this I can do again modus ponens for this we are getting this one, and now we can apply De Morgan's law, moving negation inward or replaced with and. So in this I have got 2 literals, then I can apply and elimination, and then last I can get negation of P12. So in this method I am able to prove that there is no pit in 1, 2. This is one mechanism of inference in the prepositional logic. Please carefully once again observe the statements, how you have able to prove that there is no pit in 1, 2. We have applied biconditional elimination and elimination, contrapositives, modus ponens, De Morgan's law, as well as and elimination once again. Okay. Now monotonicity. One thing what I should understand here is, when I am applying these equivalence rules, I am considering only a set of premises or a set of statements. Other statements I am not much bothered about. That means if I could concentrate on a subset of the statements, overlooking the other statements, still I am able to get the conclusion. Though that other subset whatever I am overlooking, you can add millions of statements to that, it doesn't make a difference for me in the conclusion inference procedure. So the set of entailed sentences can only increase as information is added to the knowledge base. So it is not going to impact my inference. KB entails alpha, then KB union beta entails alpha. So adding of beta is not going to change my situation, because my rules that I have considered are not being affected. So observe, we did not consider B21, P21 and P22. So this is what happens with, and this process we call it as monotonicity, this position. And then we have resolution rules. We can resolve using this unit resolution. We have discussed this point. Okay, so that can be shown like you may be having these many number of literals, then you go for unit resolution, you will get something like this. The pair of two opposite literals cancel each other. All other literals from the two disjuncts are combined to form a new disjunct as the inferred sentence. This is very important. These two opposite literals gets cancelled and all other literals from the two disjuncts are combined to form a new disjunct as the inferred sentence. Okay, we can apply this unit resolution. Now we are trying to prove. A proof is a sequence of sentences where each sentence is either a premise or a sentence derived from earlier sentences. In the proof, by one of the rules of inference, we may be applying some rule to derive the sentence. Now this, the last sentence what we derive, we call this as theorem, okay, or the goal, or maybe the query that we are looking for, that we want to prove. So theorem proving can be looked at as a such, where we have a start node, we are having some set of given premises, and then operators, we are having some inference rules, and then we have a goal, a state that we need to prove. So the theorem is asked to prove, and the solution is how you are moving from one statement to the other statement, that can be considered as a path from start node to the goal node. So here we can see a parallels with the such algorithm. Now this is proof by resolution. If I am having Q and I am having another statement, negation of Q or P, and also I am having negation of P or negation of Q or R. So these are premises. From this I can prove using unit resolution. I am resolving Q, I am getting P. Again using unit resolution I am resolving P, I am getting this one. So ultimately I am proving R. So R exists or R is true. So this is one way of proof by resolution. I hope it is clear for you.